You have tuned into the BearDown Corner with your host, Sergeant Holio. Hey, what's good, what's kicking? This is the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Holio. We are 65 days away from the start of the NFL season. This week, a little slower in the NFL news world. So you know what? We're going to just finish up part 8 of the State of the Division. So, break it down quite simply. We got 4 of the toughest teams in the NFL. Last year, the Vikings proved that they let go Sam Darnold. Bad decision. And they were a quarterback away from possibly competing for a Super Bowl. After going 14-3 last year, they finished off at a measly 9-8 to finish off the season. Now, here's the problem for the Vikings. They were already close against the cap. That's why they had such a competitive team last year with Sam Darnold. Now, to fix that, they brought in competition for J.J. McCarthy this current offseason with former Arizona Cardinal and a former starting quarterback Kyler Murray is going to be the new quarterback fighting for that starting job. Honestly, I think he wins it. They brought back Carson Wentz. McCarthy needs to learn. Honestly, the moves they made, that's pretty much what they could do. They brought in Juan Jennings on a 1-year, $13 million contract. Pro Bowl punter Johnny Hackers. Freed up some cap space, re-signed linebacker Eric Wilson to a 3-year, $22.5 million. They drafted a defensive tackle first overall in their first-round pick. Linebacker in the second, and another defensive tackle in the third. Now, the rest of the picks, they were to fill out the rest of the roster, but when you go out and make these couple little moves, they figure they still have a competitive team. And as they should. You don't go 14-3 for no reason. But if this is going to work, you have to have solid quarterback play. Not spectacular, just solid enough. Game manager, man. Get the ball to Justin Jefferson. The guy will do the rest. You have Jordan Addison. You have Juan Jennings now. There's no reason that this wide receiver room can't be one of the best in the league. It's the goddamn quarterback position. And they had him in their grasp and they let him go. And Sam Darnold. Son of a gun, eh? Honestly, I don't think Kyler Murray is the answer, but I think he'll give better quarterback play than he had from J.J. McCarthy last year. They probably go 9-8 again. The Lions, also up against the cap, they focus more on just burning in on pieces like Isaiah Pacheco to replace the backup in David Montgomery, where they pretty much had 2 starters the last few seasons. So, it's time to let the young kid in Jamari Gibbs shine. Replace some pieces in the draft with Blake Miller, offensive tackle in the first round. Derek Menchie, they traded back up in the second round to pick up the edge rusher. Re-signed Cade Mays, their center, to a 3-year, $25 million contract. Nothing crazy. Nothing jumping off the board. They did release Tyron Arnold. He cleared waivers. He's now a free agent. He has legal issues. That's a whole cluster shit of stuff. The guy was pretty much like the head rein in getting people to beat the crap out of other people to get his valuables back. It's a whole shit show. Needless to say, the Lions did just enough to replace the pieces they lost. Should be competitive, maybe more of a 10-7 season. Yeah. They're relying on their pieces that they've been stolen away for the last few years, and now it's time to see if they come to fruition and they can stay competitive. Same with the Packers. You know what? They gave up their first-round pick when they picked up Micah Parsons last year. Help on the defensive side, cornerback in the second round, defensive tackle in the third. Nothing crazy. Again, they re-signed their center, 3-year, $33 million. Traded for Javon Hargrave. It's enough pieces to replace Rashawn Gary, who they traded out to the Cowboys. Locked up their wide receivers for the foreseeable future. Had half the receiving room leave in free agency and traded Donventarius Wicks to the Eagles as Romeo Doubs signed with the Patriots. The Packers just hoping to rebuild through the draft. Like nothing crazy here, guys. They made the playoffs last year with that 9-6-1 record. Like, there is the possibility, just saying, as a hopeful, the Bears can repeat as NFC North champions. Honestly, I will put the division up as a question mark for all four teams to compete. Because unless our defense can step, that was our Achilles heel last year. Our defense was fucking bad. We had a bad defense. I think we're like 30th overall in overall defense. So we released Tremaine Edmonds, right? You let pretty much half the defense or better go. Honestly, I'm not hurt by it. You have Dennis Allen coming in as the defensive coordinator. It's time to play his scheme. He's bringing in the players he wants to make this defense what it can be. So you trade DJ Moore. That was a cap move. You got the second round pick for him. You drafted Logan James for the future center of this team. You traded for Garrett Bradbury to make an impact right now as Drew Dolman surprised us all at the age of 27 and retired on us this last season. So all those boys, they're out of town. We got some new faces. Kobe Bryant came in. Devin Bush, the linebacker. Dylan Thyman, we drafted with our first round pick. He was one of the highly touted safeties coming out of the draft. So our backfield looks new. We got Sam Roush and Zaney and Thomas at wide receiver in the third round. So, replaced a couple pieces with a couple of younger pieces, more inexpensive pieces. And honestly, I like what the Bears did this offseason. Nothing crazy to go overall, but honestly, they didn't have to. They just had to improve the defense a bit, which they did. And they filled a couple other holes. Immediately after the Dolman retirement, we traded for Bradbury a week and a half later. Ryan Pace is on schedule to make this team competitive and Super Bowl contenders right now. That is the window we have. We have a window right now with Caleb Williams' contract in the next couple of years. And if we're going to take advantage of it, I think we're maximizing our opportunity. I personally like the way our entire team is structured right now. We can compete with anyone. The steps and strides Caleb Williams took from last year to this year under Ben Johnson is by far a kudos to the head coach. He has built this team from the ground up, and they have a great solid foundation. And honestly, I'm going to pick them to win the NFC North, not because they're my favorite, not because they're my team, but simply for the fact of what's on paper and that the future looks brighter for them than any other team, in my opinion, in the NFC North. But again, that's my opinion. I'm biased. I'm a Bears fan. And that's going to do it for us here today at the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Holio. You can catch us live every Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock Eastern, or General Mountain, 8 o'clock Eastern, anywhere you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Be safe. Take care. We'll catch you here next week on the BearDown Corner.